Hello. In this video I will remind you how to use the program TotalMIX FX with the studio computer. First of all, we will want to load up the starting snapshot. This is needed to prevent other people's settings from affecting our new project. We can do this by clicking File, Load Snapshot, TotalMIX Start, and Open. I will skip the last step because I don't want to change my current settings. Next up, I'll remind you what each of these channels means. Starting with the hardware inputs, here we can see the input channels that we can connect a microphone or instrument to and from which we expect to get an audio signal. The channel talkback is the microphone on the studio table that is needed to communicate with the artist in the recording room. The channels UFX mic 9 through 12 are the main audio interfaces channels. You can connect a microphone or an instrument to these channels. Next up, we have Aphex channel 1 and Aphex channel 2. And these are the channels of our tube amplifier. You can also connect a microphone or an instrument to these channels, and you can find the device under the main audio interface. Lastly, we have the channels Octamic 1 through 8. These are the channels of the device Octamic 2, and it lets us connect up to 8 more microphones. You can find the device above the main audio interface. Up next, behind this blue line, we have the software playback section. This section is required for the sound that plays from the computer. For example, a song on Spotify, a video on YouTube, or any audio recording that we have already done. All of these sounds will play through the stereo out 1 channel. Lastly, at the bottom, we have the hardware outputs channels. These show us the devices that can play audio for us. The Rec Room channel is for the headphone amplifier in the recording room. The Aphex HP channel is for the headphone amplifier in the control room on the table on the left. The channels phones 9, 10 and phones 11, 12 are for headphones that plug straight into the main audio interface. And lastly, the DynAudio channel is for the main speakers of the audio studio. The main principle of using TotalMIX FX is quite easy. First, we must choose one of the hardware outputs, and then we can adjust any of the hardware inputs or software playback channels. Let's imagine a situation. I have an artist in the recording room that wants to hear my voice so they can communicate with me. They also want to hear their own voice so they can judge the sound of it. And they also want to hear audio from the computer so they can hear their own song. First of all, I would have to check if I have the correct hardware output selected. Since my artist is in the recording room, I will click the Rec Room, which signifies the headphone amplifier in the recording room. Since I know the talkback channel is the microphone on the table, I will drive this knob up, thus making my voice louder in their headphones. Next up, I know they want to hear their own voice, so I'll find the channel in which I have plugged their microphone and drive the knob up as well. Lastly, I know they want to hear their own track from the computer, so I'll drive the stereo out 1 knob up. This way, they will hear all of the sounds through their headphones, and if one of them is too loud or too quiet, I can adjust it again. Or, if they like the balance of all of these sounds, but the headphones are too noisy or too quiet, I can then adjust the hardware output knob, thus making their whole headphones quieter or louder. The other hardware outputs work according to the same principle, but they reset our settings if we go between the hardware output channels. So if you can notice, when I clicked in audio, my input settings will reset. This lets us set different audio signals through different playback devices. If I, for example, don't want to hear my own voice when talking to the artist, but I want to hear the artist's voice, I'll simply select the DIN audio for the speakers and then drive this knob up so I can listen to the artist. This is about it for the video. If you need further help, please watch the other videos.